Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our Wave 2 update webinar, where we're going to be looking at some of the more prominent updates that were rolled out last month across Dynamics 365 CRM. So thanks for taking time out your morning to join us. This is a recorded session, so you will be able to refer back to it at a later date. Links will be coming out over the next few days via email. So, looking at the registrants for this session this morning, I do believe I've had the pleasure of meeting most of you, but for those who I've not, my name is Steve Clark and I am the Business Development Lead here at QGate. Also joining me on the call this morning are my colleagues Jonathan Small and Oliver Wollaston. Jonathan, as you can see, there is one of our project managers and our e-learning consultant. And Oliver is our technical services team lead. So some very knowledgeable people on the call. I like to think will be able to talk to us through the recent Wave updates. So in a second, I'm going to hand across to John just to give a bit of an overview of what we're about to see. There is a Q&A function within this session, so on the top corner you'll be able to see Q&A. If you have any questions at all, I'll be manning that during the session and I can pose those to the relevant person, whether that be John or Ollie. So yeah, if you do have any questions, shout out. Equally, if you want to hold on to the end and ask, that's absolutely fine as well. So I will now pass across to John right now.
Thank you very much, Steve. Just to say this is the first of what we hope will be an ongoing update to changes through the Wave updates. And what we're going to be focusing on today is the advanced find update and the changes that have happened around that. In order to look at that, we're going to be taking advantage of what we use to document and update our own staff as well as our customers in the form of the ClickLearn software that we use, which gives us the opportunity to share with you a process and some information about the changes that have been made in an easy and accessible manner. And of course, ClickLearn allows us to record those processes, and it gives us a result of not just a portal we can access, but also downloadable content and videos. And so what we're going to do first off is we're going to have a little look at one of those videos. And this video, as I say, it will take you through the basics of the changes to Advanced Find now that what we've been familiar with for so many years has disappeared from our top toolbar and is now more integrated into the look and feel of Dynamics generally. Okay, so if I just share out my screen and I'll take you to that video. Here we go. So here we are in one of our open portals for customer knowledge. If we just go through the portal, you can see that we've got a section here accessing the advanced find, and that's what we're going to be looking at. Links to this will be available after the session. And what you'll be able to do is take advantage of these documentations and these videos yourself. We've got our videos at the top here, and what we're going to be having a look at is this show me video here, and it's just going to take us through. So I'll hand you over.
Accessing advanced filters. The purpose of navigate to advanced filters. As part of Microsoft's Wave updates, it was announced that the long-serving advanced find that has supported Dynamics users for many years was to be retired. A new and more powerful search function has been introduced, which is fully integrated into the wider Microsoft Dynamics experience. When you log into Microsoft Dynamics, you will be taken to your home page. To access the modern advanced find and filters, start by clicking on the search field in the navigation bar. Then select Search for rows in a table using advanced filters. Select and edit tables. You can now access any table within Microsoft Dynamics that you may wish to interrogate for information. Click into the Search Tables field. Enter the table name, for example, Contacts. Select the required table. Then click on Continue. The Edit Filters side pane will then be displayed. To start building your query, click on Add. You can then select Add Row, Add Group, or Add Related Entity. Begin to build your query by opening the first drop-down menu. Then select the required field from the list. The next drop-down allows you to begin defining your criteria, for example, information equal to a particular value in the selected field. Select the required option for your query from the drop-down list. Then finish defining the search criteria. Enter the criteria into the final field. To add the next line to your query, click on Add. Repeat the process until you have built the desired query and entered all the relevant criteria. Once you have added all of your criteria, click on Apply to apply the current advanced filters. Column display. An amended view is marked by the addition of an asterisk next to the view name. At this point, changes have not been saved. If you want to add or remove columns from your advanced query, click on the Edit Columns button. To add columns to the view, click on the Add Columns button. Select fields to add as columns in the view. You can add single columns from the entity, or multiple columns to show a wide range of data. To add columns from related entities, click on the Related tab. When you have added the required columns, click on Close. Next to the column names, there is an ellipsis. This can be used to amend the column order or delete unnecessary columns. To finish adding columns, select Apply. Note that you can return to your query by clicking on Edit Filters. This option is available in any view you navigate to, allowing you to use the query that exists for that view as a starting point. After amending the filters, click on Apply. Manage and save views. To save your new view, open the Select a View menu. Then select Save as New View. Add an appropriate name for the view. You can also enter a description. Then click on Save. Open the Select a View menu again. Your new view and any other personal views that you create will be shown marked with a person icon. Scroll to the bottom of the Select a View menu. Then select Manage and Share Views. In this area you can manage and share existing views. Click on the View Commands ellipsis. Then select an appropriate action from the list. Some actions can only be accessed if you own a particular view. Confirm the action. Once complete, close the side pane. To return to your home page, click on the Home button.
There we go. And so back over to you, Steve.
Thanks, John. Good stuff. So I've been manning the Q&A whilst that was going. So thanks for hit and go on that video, which you of course created using ClickLearn, as you mentioned before. So 2 comments, or rather 1 question and 1 comment that come through the Q&A. One, is this webinar recorded? Will you be sharing a link to it? Absolutely, that will come out afterwards. And there's a comment here, and it's come through as anonymous, but the statement is, personally feel this is a backward step from Microsoft. Too many steps now required. The previous advanced find was more intuitive. Now, John, we of course, build these CRMs, and we are utilizing this on a functional basis, on a daily basis. So what's your feel on this change from Microsoft? Do you think it's a forward step, or as someone's pointed out there, a backward step?
I think it's just a different step, in my personal opinion. I personally, I liked the old advanced find a great deal. There was so much you could do with it. Getting used to using the new way of doing things, it was a change in mindset, but now I'm used to doing it. There are things in it which are so much quicker to do, and yeah, it's there in your face in every view that you actually go into. So yeah, if you want to change something, you've always got it in your face. You don't have to switch into a different window to do the advanced find. You can just create it as part of the views you've got going on your screen already. So from that perspective, I find it quite easy to get my head around. And being not always having been into this life in terms of dynamics, I actually find this a slightly easier way of approaching it. And if I was new to the system, I think I would have found it quite easy to get into as well. So yeah, so I like it, but as I say, I did like the old one, but I don't see it as a step backwards, just a sideways step in terms of how we view things.
Excellent stuff. Good. Okay, so if anyone has any questions around this particular element of the updates, then I'll put our contact details up on a slide towards the end of this. I do want to just pass across to Oliver for a second to just very briefly touch on another one of the more noticeable updates on the last wave around Teams. So Oliver, I will chuck across to you just to acknowledge that, if that's okay.
Brilliant, thanks, Steve. Hi everyone. So before I do touch on the Teams piece, it's a very small piece, but it's just something that's been asked a couple of times. Relating back to the previous comment / question, what this new functionality does is it actually empowers the end user. It gives the end user the ability to search based on whatever they need to search on without you having to create the views for them. I know in the past a lot of people did try and use the advanced find, and it took a lot from the fact that it was called advanced, to add the related entity to the related entity started to confuse a lot of people. Whereas now you have the capability of simply selecting the related tab and typing owner, for example, and any related records owner field can be added. So you've got that capability of just typing in what you want it to do, and you can create the view for yourself there and then. So try not to think of it as sort of like this is how we're going to create system views entirely, and think of it as, yes, we can create views this way, but actually it allows our end users to start searching and using the data more efficiently rather than scrolling through reams because they just don't understand how to search or something like that. So it's that side of it as well.
Excellent.
And just to touch on the Teams piece, like we're speaking, it's more about presence. What Microsoft are driving at the moment is a lot of Teams. Everything can be added to Teams is sort of what they're going for. And some of you have already seen that owners of records, if they are a user, you're starting to see a presence next to it. Maybe it says available, or it's got a green dot or a red dot and it says busy. This is actually taking functionality from Teams and seeing if you're currently in a meeting. For example, if you're in a meeting, it will display as busy. I will share my page here, and you will see, for example, with my screen here,
when we're looking at dynamics, we're in a view for my active contacts, for example, and we can see that I am the owner. If I hover over it, we have a nice red dot. This is a pop-out card, which is out of the box functionality now, but it's a red dot because I'm busy in Teams, and that's because we're in this meeting. So that's how we're seeing it. It is pulling directly from your email presence as such, so linked through from Outlook. It's using omni-channel, and it will change to a green dot with a tick in it if it's available. And that is, you can see that for any owner. So anyone that's in the business, you can look and see what their current presence is. So you don't have to go and look elsewhere to see if they're currently in a meeting, if they're busy, if they're available.
Excellent stuff, Ollie. Thank you very much. Right, I don't know that. Oh, hang on, we've had one new question come in. Let's have a look. We'll publish this, and I'll just go across to myself. Let's have a look. So we've got, would this mean we have to move all current saved advanced find views, or are they automatically created in this new update? Ollie, I don't know, or John, one of you might want to cover that one.
Yeah, so any views that you've got carry across. You're going to see any view that's available within your UCI application still within the list of views that you've got. So if it's been shared with you previously by somebody else, you'll still have access. They have restructured. You'll see personal views at the top, system views underneath, and shared views. So you'll still see it in the same way that you saw it before. You can still interact with it in the same way, but it's just being managed through this new advanced find.
Excellent stuff. Good, brilliant. Okay, so thanks to John and Ollie for the overview of the main Wave updates. If you've been say affected or noticed anything else, we of course do our best to make you aware of these changes as and when they're rolled out. There's some update notes, significant update notes that we do endeavour to stay on top of. But if you do have any other questions around anything we've covered on the call or anything that we've not covered on the Wave updates, the three of us that you can see on your screen there, the one thing we have in common, apart from the fact we definitely all need to update our LinkedIn profiles, I definitely don't look like that anymore, is that we are all account managers as well. So everyone in this call will be represented by someone on this particular slide. Contact details are there. And if you have any questions or want to get in touch about anything that we do for you or can do for you, then please do get in touch. But on that note, I will once again thank you for your time this morning. Hang on, there is some questions coming through actually just before I kick on. Would this new update, advanced follow, allow the user to link entities that are not linked? Just before there's one question there, John or Ollie.
Are you asking whether you can bulk update or update a record through the advanced find view? Is that what the question is?
Would this new update, advanced find, allow the user to link entities that are not linked? So I don't have, unfortunately, any other context there. Whoever that is, unfortunately, that comment's come through as anonymous. If you could just either email myself or your main point of contact, we'll be able to follow up and answer that one with a bit more context. We've